Hello, and welcome back to Species Spotlight. This week, I wanted to talk about an amphibian you might be hearing while walking throughout the parks, the spring peeper. Spring peepers are small tree frogs that inhabit wooded areas and grasslands near ponds and swamps throughout the eastern United States and parts of Canada. Although they are rarely seen, spring peepers are tannish brown to olive in color and have darker lines that form a pattern of an X on their back. They can grow to be about 1.5 inches long and weigh around 0.18 ounces, which is equivalent to the weight of 5 paper clips. As adults, spring peepers will typically feed in the late afternoon to early evening, finding food sources such as ants, flies, spiders, and beetles. Their tadpoles will feed on algae and other microorganisms within the pond or body of water they are in. Spring peepers can live up to 3 years and overwinter by burrowing into the soil or under logs and leaf litter. The adults that overwinter actually produce a substance called glycerol that acts like an antifreeze throughout their body. Glycerol forms in their tissues and helps prevent the adults from freezing completely. As spring approaches, the peepers will start to thaw out and make their way to shallow water bodies to find food and potential mates. Spring peeper calls are a great first sign that spring is here. For as small as they are, peepers can truly make a lot of noise and actually belong to a group of frogs known as chorus frogs. They start calling on the first few warm nights of spring to try and find a mate. The calls you hear are normally the male frogs calling out to the females, and their calls sound like high-pitched sleigh bells when multiple are singing at once. Male spring peepers are able to produce this high-pitched call because their vocal sac is quite large compared to other frog species. When the male is successful in finding a mate, breeding takes place quickly. Females will lay anywhere from 750 to 1,200 eggs that attach to aquatic vegetation submerged in wetland areas or ponds, and the males will fertilize the eggs as they are laid. Depending on the temperatures outside, eggs can start to hatch within 2 days to 2 weeks. Once hatched, spring peeper tadpoles will quickly transform into frogs within 6 to 12 weeks. As you are walking throughout the parks or any wetland area, try to stop and listen for their high-pitched calls.